Okay, we are now live. Hello, everybody. Welcome
Hello, everybody.
to the ChatGPT webinar. It's Amy Kenigsberg here with Ariel Levin from Soul Marketing. I am from K2 Global Communications. And we're going to be getting started momentarily. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Welcome, everyone. Grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea. About to start.
Yes, so
quite a few people registered today, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. And once again, for some reason, StreamYard or LinkedIn doesn't like my presentation. So there's some things that are slightly off, but what's life without a little imperfections?
Okay, Amy, I'm trying to
Yes.
look on LinkedIn. Okay, it's not showing that it went live yet.
Okay. So should we end broadcast and make it live again?
Maybe there's a delay. ChatGPT for marketers. It says the event will start soon. Wait for the host.
Okay, so what do we do?
What do we do? Try to. Well, what do you got? Is it skip the main content, pre-live? What is pre-live? Okay, let's see. No. ChatGPT pre-live. Click to join. Join.
Okay, Mike Messon just gave us a message that it is broadcasting.
It is broadcasting. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mike, for the message.
Thanks, Mike. All right. So yeah.
We are live.
We are live. Thank you, StreamYard. So very exciting times to live in with ChatGPT.
Yes, most definitely. There's
especially for marketers.
Oh, absolutely. We are marketing. We are starting. We are worrying. We are excited. It's one of those, oh my God, what is this going to do? And how are we going to take it? Where are we going to take it? So Ariel, let's wait a couple more minutes. So Mike says it's live and it's broadcasting. Thank you again, Mike. But let's wait another minute or two. And so Mike,
maybe you can give us a sneak preview of what we're going to talk about today, Amy.
Sure, absolutely. So this one isn't going to be as ChatGPT lovey-dovey as I've done in the past. This is going to be ChatGPT, the warts and all the great ways and the terrific things we can get out of it, and then also the things about it that aren't so great, that will be improved eventually, and then other issues that as marketers we need to think about, both off ChatGPT and on ChatGPT. So one of the issues we'll be covering is security and content ownership. We can start with that just as a quick thing. Because of the learning model of ChatGPT, if you paste your content in, it becomes part of the ChatGPT learning curve. So you need to just be aware that don't paste in any proprietary information. JP Morgan actually has banned use of ChatGPT by its employees because of compliance worries about where that information is going. We are getting closer to 4:05 here in Israel. So welcome everybody from abroad, Israel, the United States, Europe. If we've got anyone from Australia or Asia, come say hello, because I know you guys got up very early to be here. So, okay, so it is now 4:05 here in Israel. Shall we get started, Ariel? What do you think?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so just here's my spiel about K2. My partner Larry and I started this about 17 years ago, working with more than 250 clients across a variety of technologies, bringing some to acquisition, focusing on content, PR, inbound marketing, social media, email marketing, etc. So that's my little pitch at the beginning. Okay, so ChatGPT and us. Many of us are excited, worried, scared, and all of the above. Anybody want to share how they're feeling? When you first saw ChatGPT, Ariel, what did you think?
I was very much excited. I was blind blown, really. It was a big thing. It's what I thought, after, not for the first time, but very shortly after, I thought I need to drop everything and just focus 100% in that, on that. So now I'm focusing 10 or 20% of my time on that. But yeah, I always feel I'm big FOMO because other people are doing greater and better things with that. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to partner with them to learn from them and to leverage that. But yeah, it's very exciting times to live in, and I think you're about to cover some really cool uses of this.
Terrific. Thank you, Ariel, for your 2 cents. Okay, so the power of our AI content. Um, Basically, ChatGPT allows us to be much more efficient. We can create content more quickly. Those of us who are just tired at staring at a blank page and think, oh my God, I have to write something now. What on earth am I going to do? So it can help with our writer's block. And, pretty much everybody's on the bandwagon. Everybody's worried about what we're going to do with it and how it's going to work. And the best thing is just jump right in and tackle it. So basically, how can ChatGPT help us? Again, the beautiful relaying out of PowerPoint on StreamYard, research, productivity, very simple tasks. For example, some of us write press releases about new hires. All you really need to do is paste in the person's CV and say, write a press release about this person, or give us some quotes about how happy we are to have this person join our team. And that's something that most professional PR people can do in 5 minutes or less anyway. So, it reduces it to about 2 minutes. Okay, so we asked ChatGPT about why it thinks AI generated content is useful. Speed, of course, cost effectiveness, scalability, customization, and consistency. I do have one issue on cost effective. Yes, we can create a lot more content quickly, but a lot of it requires editing. So people who are great editors have an enormous future with working with content created by AI. So here's the good, bad, and ugly. This is kind of interesting to see how ChatGPT has evolved. This week for this webinar, I asked about the benefits of using ChatGPT. It had more discussion, or not more discussion, more points, less discussion. Again, I'll have the same issues I did last time. The bias mitigation, it says it reduces potential for bias. But again, we don't know what ChatGPT is trained on. So there could still be some bias in there. As far as the consistency goes, yes, everything written by ChatGPT is very consistent style. It's boring and repetitive, but it's consistent. So when I asked last week the pros and cons, it was a little more wordy. Speed. A real person may take longer to produce content, but their work may be more thoughtful, creative, and nuanced. Availability. Yes, we sleep. ChatGPT doesn't. But if you're writing prompts, you still need to be awake to do it. So I'm not quite sure ChatGPT's availability 24/7, since at this point, thank goodness, they still need a human interface and it's not running amok on its own. Again, it's not all that great in ChatGPT land. Some of the facts may be wrong. Again, it's scraping data and learning. So if there's a whole bunch of wrong data, it's putting it together into something. So you do need to fact check. Copyright and plagiarism issues. When ChatGPT rewrites something, yes, it's clean and, quote, nobody's seen it, but you don't know where it's getting the information again, and hopefully it's not pulling copyrighted material. Also, when you are trying to get facts and figures from ChatGPT, various versions, I think 3 is from 2021, 4 is from 2022. You need to ask for the sources and check the dates to make sure you have everything up to date. And also, based on the Google Microsoft wars, who knows what's going to happen with SEO, and analyzing, saying, okay, data written by humans is going to be higher up in SEO than data written by AI, or content written by AI, but I don't think they're quite there yet, so we have plenty of time. Again, the security issues, also its credibility. Sometimes it tells you when its data is from, when it's not. Again, technology changes quickly. Some of the facts may be out of date. And this is one thing that just drives me crazy. It's repetitive and redundant. Just simple word choice. We were revising something for a client. Dramatically reduce storage costs as they are stored in one place and accessible in many others, so cloud costs are significantly reduced. So it did use dramatically and significantly, which are two separate words, but storage, costs, it needs tweaking. It needs revising. That's not something you want to post. Again, it's clean but boring. It's only good enough. Where ChatGPT can cause some traps is if English is not someone's first language, they may not be able to see that the material is repetitive and redundant and goes on and doesn't say anything. You always will need a native English speaker to review the ChatGPT material because it really is only good enough. It's not great. It's not fantastic. It's not creative. So you're going to need to really examine the ChatGPT material. And again, those of us who are worried about, will ChatGPT replace me? I read a whole thing recently that there's a lawyer who's offering ChatGPT written contracts. He's using it for he's embraced it, but there are some legal professionals who have not. So, it's whatever your role is, determining where ChatGPT fits into what you're doing and where it doesn't. ChatGPT is not going to build the relationships. It may analyze some strategy for you, but then you'll need to implement it. And again, going beyond trite, the XYZ has changed, or in today's fast-paced business world, the things that your high school English teacher would be saying, no, cliche, please don't use this in a paper again. The best way to handle ChatGPT is to pretend you're your high school English teacher. And if she would hate it, you should hate it. And thank you, Mrs. Gray, wherever you are, for those lessons. But again, it's just another tool we must master. So let's get started on some prompts. First, again, it's all strategy. What is your goal, your purpose, the channels? Messaging is key. Messaging is something you will have to do yourself, again, because of the proprietary material. You do not want to put all of your corporate secrets into ChatGPT to get messaging. You can get some really great pain points, for cybersecurity. What is the pain point of the CISO? What is the pain point of the Security Operations Center manager? But anything else, you're going to really need to do your own messaging and determine what your audience really needs to hear about your technology. When you're creating your prompts, be as clear, as concise as possible. You're also, again, you're going to want to fact check what you're doing. Whoops, my computer just freaked out for a second. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're doing some chat GPT. Let me make this a little bigger so I can see what I am doing again. Uh, sorry about this, guys. Okay, so, this is a basic prompt. You're doing a campaign for cybersecurity. It's going to include paid media, LinkedIn, etc., and organize it in a clear table. Now, remember, the plans you're going to get from ChatGPT are generic. You'll need to elaborate to create a customer campaign. And again, because of the proprietary issues and the learning, consider cutting and pasting the information from your website into ChatGPT, since that's already in the public domain. And that way you're not going to accidentally put in something that's still under wraps that should still be corporate secrets. So again, it's giving you a generic campaign with different timing and different channels, but nothing that really says, wow, this is unique to me. So we're going to fine tune the request with some pre-existing content. Thank you, Norton. I just went to the Norton website and copied this as an example, since it's in the public domain and we're talking about cybersecurity. And really, you can do this with any industry: healthcare, data, software development. So, for example, here is please apply that plan to a company that specifically makes security tools for these areas. And this is where I pasted in the Norton. And again, it's a little more detailed. It says, share relevant content related to, and then here's the topics from Norton. So again, it's just kind of generic. The KPIs are good because that gives you measurement, what you're looking for, the different ways you want to set things up. But again, you're going to need to elaborate on what you're doing. And so then here are some 5 educational LinkedIn posts. Now, this is kind of interesting. This is one of those where you definitely need to proofread. This is an area where, here, let me just backtrack a second. Whenever I'm frustrated with software, the first thing I do is remember that there were anywhere between 10 to 50 to 500 developers locked in rooms writing code to try to get this to work. So when I see something like this, I think there's some developer somewhere who just has a sense of humor, because I asked for LinkedIn posts with a sentence about self-promotion. And then if you notice, all of the hashtags say self-promotion. So again, proofread everything you're doing. Don't just copy and paste from ChatGPT.
My process when I create content is with ChatGPT is I would run it through Grammarly, not being a native English speaker myself. So I would run it through Grammarly. If I really need to have it to be readable, I would run it through Hemingway app as well. So that really clears out a lot of the issues as well. And also, if I'm getting a result that's not 100%, I would usually ask ChatGPT to rewrite it and just change a specific thing if I'm really lazy and I don't want to change it myself. I think also, if you are serious about writing with AI, a tool like AnyWord better results than ChatGPT, because it was more designed, I guess, to do higher level of writing and more correct writing. So these are my 2 cents on that.
Great. Thank you very much, Ariel. And there are plenty of software out there that allow you now to create your own images based on your description. Now, ChatGPT did a decent job. Computer screen with a lock icon and a message that says protected by real-time threat protection. That's pretty clear. But the second image, a network with a smart firewall blocking incoming threats. That can be anything. It's really too general. So for images, you want to try some of the image software. Ariel, I know you've been using some of the image software. You want to talk a bit about that?
Sure. So I've been using Midjourney mostly, and especially for blog posts content and newsletter content. I think with Midjourney 5 just being released, even if you need hyper realistic photograph like images, you can create these. You just need to take some time and understand the prompts. And I don't think you need any to buy any course or anything like that. You just need to get into one of the newbies channels and just see what people are creating, and then you get the hang of it. And there's a lot of free content online as well, so you can do some really amazing things. And also just be very cautious about I guess copyright, because there's some lawsuits and other things that are happening there. So I guess a word on that is, if you're using a specific style, for example, if you're using Andy Warhol style, it's going to be fine. But style of a living artist like Asaf Hanukkah or somebody like that is less cool. So I wouldn't feed a prompt that relates to somebody who's alive and might want his copyright uh, rights uh, reserved. So that's just a word of caution.
Thank you, Ariel. Okay, so ChatGPT doesn't always understand what you're asking because of the training it's received. So, for example, we are a PR agency, so I decided to see what it would do asking to pitch a journalist. Now, journalists do not want to receive promotional pitches. They want to receive something that says, hey, this is a great story. This is why you need to talk to my expert who can talk about the story. Not, we can discuss our cutting edge technology, our approach, and share insights. We can discuss our VPN solutions, etc. So again, whatever you do, make sure that you clarify to ChatGPT what you specifically want and be prepared to review and revise. Okay, and again, sometimes it doesn't understand specific requests and you might need to tweak it or ask it to do more, but the content is good enough. I asked here for things that weren't self-promotional, but the second sentence of every post is self-promotional, which, when you want to post self-promotion is great, but when you ask for it not to be self-promotional, you'll need to ask again in a different way. And then it'll give you exactly what you ask for. So again, you'll need to tweak your prompts. So I said, we're attending 6 conferences over the next 12 months. Please put together of all tasks necessary to get ready for a trade show. So it just put together the tasks getting ready for the trade show, but it didn't take into account the 12 months. I would have needed to clarify and say, please put together a calendar to get ready for a trade show that is 2 months away. So here's where I tried again and gave 6 conferences and asked for a dated timeline. So the first conference worked great, but then conference number 3 that was in September, it said month 1 is July, August, month 3, develop a strategy. And then in November was when everything would have been finished for the September trade show. So I decided to go a bit more granular and said, we have a trade show in 2 months. What do we need to do between now and day 60? And so this put in a bit more detail and a bit more information that fit in my timeline, because sometimes you just have to change the approach. And then here were some more details. Okay, so in the middle of putting this presentation together, they launched ChatGPT 4. So I asked ChatGPT 4 why it was better than 3, the larger model size, more training data, fine-tuning, again, the specific tasks, and the context understanding for the longer pieces of text. And they said they're reducing biases, but we'll have to see. But then I started working with it, and I gave up after the 5th time asking it to create tweets. And after tweet 6, it pretty much just locked up and said error. So I don't know if it's being tested still, or it was just overwhelmed by all of us who are in using it. But now we're going to go back to ChatGPT 3 with our prompts. Okay, so again, ChatGPT doesn't give you when it's up to date. So according to your latest research, according to the latest research, and then here is recent research, and we don't get any attribution. But hopefully, again, Chat 4 will have that. Okay, so I wanted a work plan, social media calendar, etc. So if you notice, it wants you to be on Twitter 3 to 5 times a day, LinkedIn 1 to 2 posts, Instagram 2 to 3 posts a week, Facebook 1 to 2 posts a day. I thought it was interesting. It didn't give TikTok. I guess because it's learned from me that we're mainly a B2B agency and it's remembered that. So it left out TikTok for us, which is fine because I'm not going to do a fancy dancing video. That's just not my style. So you can just have a sample of that now. Okay, but you can use ChatGPT, justify that new hire, because if it put together that plan and you actually have to stick to it, even if using ChatGPT, it's saying the estimated time required to handle all those social media activities would be 16 to 32 hours a week. So, sometimes ChatGPT can help you expand your team versus just replacing everyone with ChatGPT. Okay, so then I decided I'm going to ask about promoting this webinar. And pretty much we're doing everything it says. We just did that without ChatGPT telling us because we have almost 20 years of marketing. Now, this I found actually kind of useful. I know many of us just in the course of doing our jobs day to day and working with WordPress and just working, we've all learned a little bit of how to code, but not enough to be fully comfortable with coding a whole page. So this is one area where marketers can expand on their technological skills because this is, to be frank, this is not something worth, well, okay, let me rephrase that. There are certain things worth paying an outside programming consultant for and certain things that you really should just figure out on your own. And basic HTML coding to create a page you should do on your own. And here it is, ChatGPT did it for you, which is really great with those learning curve issues that some of us face. Okay, so one of the things that you want to do, am I going too quickly, Ariel? Should I slow down a little bit? I feel like I'm racing through things.
No, that's good. That's good. Just go through it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm following through, so that's all good.
Okay, great. I tend to speak quickly, so I wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page. Okay, so this is one of those more complex tasks. Again, this is with 3.5, not with 4. I think 4 would have no problem with this. So first I asked for an outline, then a post, and then social posts, and then a script. So it created the outline. Then it gave us the blog. Then it actually didn't even give us the social posts at this point. So, it ended at the blog and you'll have to ask for the rest. And eventually this won't be an issue. It just happens to be a quirk with this one. So I said, revert to the previous request. Please create a series of social posts and a video script. And then it was able to do that. Here's the script. Okay, so this is something that I really wanted to give an example of. This is what ChatGPT created when I asked for using AI in automated content creation and marketing. I'm going to read some of this out loud because the writing is, again, my English teacher hated this. This is one of those channel. Right now, I'm channeling Mrs. Gray. I'm sure everyone has their own English teacher they can channel. So the marketing landscape has evolved significantly over the past decade. Yeah, okay. Let's not keep that. Let's see. Social media platforms are an essential component of modern marketing strategy. I think that's something we all know and doesn't really need to be included in any sort of blogs anywhere or any content. Um, let's see. This can help businesses increase customer engagement and drive sales. Yes, we know that. Let's see. And there was a paragraph right above that talked about, oh, you can even see it. If I had a pointer, I would see. But if you see the paragraph that starts in addition and it says that are tailored to individual customers, if you look at the very first paragraph, the first sentence of the next one, that are tailored to individual customers. So again, ChatGPT isn't really that creative on its word choice. This is what the blog looked like after I went through it as a professional editor. And then this is the final product. So I kept tailored to individual customers, but I didn't keep it in both areas. So let's see, what do we have next? I think we're actually wrapping up. Okay, so next steps for your content. Make sure you review everything with a critical eye. Make sure the end results really represent your message. Okay, I was redundant here. Okay, so see, even we can be redundant. I was doing some last minute edits, but actually here it was your company's voice and tone. That's what it should have said, and that's what it said before I went a little wild on mine. Okay, whoops. And then just showing me something at the bottom and not letting me see the last of my slide. So anyway, you guys can read it. It's on screen. Okay, so again, marketing beyond ChatGPT. This is where you really want to focus your corporate data. We tell any client, any potential client, whether you're going to work with us or not, make sure that you start collecting your data, get information from your team, build it into your system initially, because your corporate data will be used for benchmarking by your clients, by potential clients. It can be used in the media as news. It can be used white papers, blogs, social posts, etc. I would really go back to your product management team and determine what information you guys are sitting on that's very valuable to your clients and potential clients, and leverage that. Focusing on sales enablement content. As this was called before the flywheel, the bottom of the funnel content, the stuff that's very detailed, that's about your product, the things that you don't really want to tell ChatGPT, but need to be within your own your own team, your institutional memory. Also focusing on account-based marketing. Yes, you can definitely use ChatGPT to generate basic messages, like all the wonderful people who got my messages saying, hey, we're hosting a webinar today. If you'll notice, there was no personalization. It was just the people who wrote me back that I then wrote personal messages to. And let's see what else. Okay, and then here's our final commercial from K2. Beyond ChatGPT, we do messaging, inbound and content marketing, PR, social media, and email. And thanks everybody for participating and joining. Does anybody have any questions? You can put it in the bottom on LinkedIn. Questions, comments, concerns. Ariel, do you see any comments from anybody?
I'm just gonna open that up and take a look.
Yeah, StreamYard is not cooperating very easily today.
But I guess for everyone, what Amy showed here is on one end in depth and on one end just the tip of the iceberg, because each of us should develop their own unique unique work method, and not just say, hi, this doesn't work or this does work. Also, what we find is there's different outputs to GPT-4 and GPT 3.5 or 3. So play with those, with both of those, to find out what gives you the best output. But it's and if it doesn't give you, I guess, the most accurate results that you're after, just continue iterating until you get a good enough result, or do your own edits. So, but I do encourage you to find your own case studies and use it for ideation, and to bring different ideas from different times and bring them together, mesh them up together, which is AI can do in a very cool way. It can write your message in a style of in different styles and in different ways, in the voice of Albert Einstein, or some Greek philosopher. So you can do very cool things if you allow yourself to explore. And also, don't limit yourself to ChatGPT. There's other tools that can do a better job. I talk about AnyWord. AnyWord is also good because it's connected live to the internet, so it can give you live references, and it can reference content that it creates. So there's some really amazing tools out there, and make sure you leverage them, because what we're going to see is, and what all of us are experiencing right now is some jobs are going to be replaced, and some jobs are going to be leveraging AI. So some are going to be replaced by AI, some are going to be leveraged by AI, and you need to be the ones who master AI. And because once you have that assistant, the AI assistant helping you, you can be so much more efficient, and save so much time and really focus on what you're best at. So again, continue and explore.
Okay, so thank you very much. We have some comments from Mike and Peter. So Mike, the paid ChatGPT you actually own. The unpaid one, technically you own it because you created it, you gave it the prompt to create, but I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of lawyers talking at some point about who copyright and ownership, etc. And again, Peter, you touched on that thing that I discussed, in that there's no attribution and there's no material. You don't know where the material is coming from. So thank you guys. There seemed to be some sort of bizarre technical difficulty on the LinkedIn side. Mike and Peter, you guys got in, but a lot of people didn't. So we may be rerunning this webinar next. Oh, then you're using the new big version because you can't get into the other one. Yeah, because everybody is using it. Everybody is trying it. So the reason you're using, okay, so Bing had a lot of footnotes. Oh, great. Okay. So maybe we should switch to the Bing version, so at least there's some attribution. Thank you so much, Peter, for the comment. So thanks, guys, for attending. The two of you that were able to get in, I'm not sure why everyone else couldn't. So thank you very much, and we'll be posting a link to this somehow, some way. Thanks, everybody. Take care.